You may know that the most important decision you made in your life was marrying who you married. This applies to finances, your happiness, mental health, physical health, and especially in the context of this video, we'll be talking about how that decision affects your habits, especially eating and diet. While that decision has a big impact on all these things, I'm a big believer in our ability to unite with our partner, with our wife, with our ability to change, our ability to come together and work together as a team to reach our goals, including improving our diet and reducing our stress. And so that's what I want to talk about in this video, because I struggled for a long time with poor eating due to not managing my stress properly. And at times, that big part of that stress was because of tension between my wife and I. And so I want to paint a picture of what this kind of looked like for me. I work a 9 to 5, work hard to provide for my family. I come home, I try to be there, be present for my family. Maybe I'm not doing that in the way that my wife would like, unintentionally, or maybe I'm doing something else that unintentionally is causing a rift between us. I'm already maybe exhausted from a long day at work. We have an argument because of how I'm doing things. That makes things even more stressful, and I end up at the end of the day, after the kids are asleep, coping with whatever is easiest to reach. And what is that? Most of the time, for me, that's food. I can easily reach for sweets, baked goods, things that just helped me to escape in the moment, to dial down that negative emotion, that helps me to just get rid of that tension, that stress from the day and from the issues in our relationship. And each time I did this, I felt really guilty. Like, why am I giving into these bad habits? I know that they're causing problems for me, making the day afterwards even worse, even more stressful. My energy is low, I'm gaining weight, and I felt ashamed. Kind of looking back at it, like, who can blame me, right? And who can blame you? You're already exhausted from working hard, from just the stress of the day, and then on top of that, because of this rift between you and your partner, just arguments, there's that added level of stress and tension, making it so easy to turn to addictive things like unhealthy food that's wrecking our diets. It can also be really frustrating because, for me, I was doing my best. I was trying to provide for my family, both not just financially by working, but also emotionally, trying to be there and support them. But in my case, it wasn't going as planned. So there are a few different ways to look at this. How do we remedy this? How do we fix our habits? How do we fix our relationship with our wife? So the way that I looked at this at first, which, spoiler, is not the right way to look at this, in my opinion, was focusing on myself. I thought, okay, I can't be there for my family if my cup is empty. Or that was the mindset I had. I need to fix my relationship with food, and because it's making things a lot harder emotionally, it's draining me. I told myself, if I can fix that habit, then things will get better with my family and everything will be great. Now, this didn't really work out for a couple reasons. Number one, that stress in the relationship is still there. That's still gonna cause me to want to eat sweets and overeat at night. And number two, making these improvements and making these changes when you're not united with your partner can actually cause a further rift in between you two. In a marriage, and especially in a family with children, everything you do affects everyone in the family. So this is how you spend your time at work, how you spend your free time. If you're eating a certain way at dinner that's different from your wife, that's going to affect her and how she looks at you. This sort of happens subconsciously, but if you see your partner making improvements, maybe they're happier, making changes, but things are off between you two, you're going to start to have some resentment towards them. Subconsciously, you're going to be like, okay, why are we not figuring things out? And that's what can happen when you're not united. When you're united, then they're going to be on board and supporting you, but if not, it can actually make things worse and harder. And so what I found is that instead of prioritizing my habits, my eating, and my health, my relationship with my wife has to come first over everything. Fixing the relationship does two things. Number one, it gets rid of that stress. So if you're not having those arguments, if there's not that just low-level tension constantly between you two, you're going to be a lot less likely, you're going to be a lot less susceptible to poor eating, those addictive snacks that you may have in your household that maybe you probably don't want to eat, but maybe someone else in your family eats. And so the second thing is you're going to be able to get your wife on board with you. You're going to be able to work together and have their support to actually stick to your diet and the way that you want to eat. And so now I want to get a little bit tactical on how do you actually do this? How do you actually fix your relationship with your partner, overcome some of the stress that might be going on? And while I don't know exactly what's going on between you and your wife, things are no doubt going to be different for everybody. I think I've found some good principles that can apply to everybody. And I just want to share really mainly one in this video. And that's having proper communication through a set weekly meeting. I think this is super important to have a time every single week that's uninterrupted when your kids are somewhere else or asleep, where you two can talk about things about the house, finances, but especially between you two to check in on your relationship and how you're doing. Now, you might say, oh, okay, whenever we talk, we argue, it gets heated, and we never get anywhere. In that case, I'd say go meta. So what I mean by that is go a level above. Instead of starting with whatever the argument is or the issue that's been causing the tension, start by going above that, which is the issue of communication. Talk about how you two are communicating unproductively and ineffectively. Point that out. Say, hey, I've noticed when we try to talk about this, we end up getting really upset and we end up not really getting anywhere. What can we do about that? And have a conversation about that. I found that to be very effective in my relationship. Now, if things are still not getting anywhere with you trying to talk about that communication, if you've tried your best to talk through things week after week, you're still struggling, then I would consider getting someone else involved, having a mediator. This is usually like a counselor, a couples counselor that can help you to have a productive conversation. Because ultimately, that's what needs to happen, having a proper conversation and an alignment of how you're thinking about things to work together to solve the issues, and ultimately be aligned on everything in your home, including your habits. And so that would be my invitation for you to try having that weekly meeting with your wife, and let me know how that goes. If there's something else going on in your relationship that you feel like I didn't cover in this video, please put a comment in the description or in the comment section. I'd love to hear your question and chat with you. If you're seeking help on other areas of reducing stress, or maybe you're still having trouble with your eating after fixing things with your wife, then I would love to chat with you as well. I can help you figure out what's going on, what may be the real issue, and we can really start making progress on these habits together. Otherwise, I will love to see you in the next video. If you're interested in things around changing your habits, such as poor eating, and so you can subscribe to not miss the next one.